Soft, melancholic piano music begins, distant and echoing, a gentle sigh. Oh, darling, allow me to unburden my soul. It's rather taxing, you see, to carry the weight of such exquisite disappointment. One simply must chronicle these things, preserve the details. It's a matter of justice, really, and perhaps a warning, a cautionary tale for any other sweet souls susceptible to the allure of prestige. You understand, don't you? The promise of something more. It's a siren-esque call, isn't it? I always envisioned university as a shimmering oasis, a cathedral of thought, a place where minds, vibrant and curious, would converge and blossom. My family, escaping the grey pallor of a past life you wouldn't believe the winters in, well, never mind where we came from, it's dreadfully provincial. They sacrificed everything. Everything, so I could have this. So I could walk these hallowed halls. I needed it. I needed a fresh start. And here I was, ridiculously hopeful, poised to step into the sanctified grounds of the University of Bristol. Bristol. A name that resonated with respectability. Naive, wasn't I? Utterly, breathtakingly naive. It began before I even arrived, really. The agonizing wait for an offer. Now listen carefully, because this is important. A simple offer. A piece of paper dictating the course of one's entire future. To dangle it, to tease with it for 5 months. 5 months, can you imagine? While poor girls, burdened by looming exams, their nervous systems frayed beyond repair, are left suspended in this ghastly limbo. It's positively cruel, absolutely detrimental to one's mental constitution. I recall my grandmother, a woman of exceptional fortitude, once telling me, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick, child." She was, as always, devastatingly correct. And then the rejection. A brisk, impersonal email arriving a mere month before the examinations. A month. It's akin to shattering a porcelain doll right before a child's birthday, isn't it? It's the pointlessness of the cruelty that truly stings. It's the thoughtlessness. But that, my dears, was merely a prologue to the unfolding tragedy. I, of course, persevered. I enrolled in the MA Law program. Oh, the law, it felt. Wrong from the start. Not legally, you understand, though I suspect there are irregularities. No, it was the very approach. It wasn't a nurturing environment, a gentle ascent into the complexities of jurisprudence. It felt like being hurled into a rushing river, expected to swim like a seasoned Olympian. The lecturing, oh, the lecturing. One professor, a self-important barrister, seemed to view the classroom as a platform for his own accolades, regaling us with tales of his brilliance, interspersed with rather boisterous pronouncements about politics. Boris Johnson, honestly, and the other, a perpetually disgruntled soul, expounding his Brexit grievances with a zeal bordering on the fanatical. The unfortunate students, such as myself, merely sought guidance on legal principles, found themselves embroiled in a constant political skirmish. It wasn't an education, darling, it was a performance. It felt absolutely suffocating. I had to ask the professor to stop talking so fast, my classmates also. It wasn't personal, it was just impossible to understand. And the structure, oh, the structure. Everything was online, dumped into this abyss called Blackboard. Imagine, if you will, a labyrinth constructed entirely of digital code, designed to confuse and disorient. The cover sheets essential for submitting work were hidden, buried beneath layers of digital detritus. I'm rather adept with technology, you see, for a girl of my upbringing, but even I struggled. It took a fellow student, a remarkably patient soul, 15 minutes to locate the wretched thing. 15 minutes, it's a theft of time, darling. A theft of one's precious, finite moments. The support for those of us with learning differences, it was glacial. I disclosed my dyslexia in September.
Ember, it wasn't until November, a full 2 months later, that I received any assistance. And
The grim reality of businesses near the University of Bristol. The businesses near the University of Bristol are, put simply, a parade of disappointment. If you're expecting charm, competence, or even basic hygiene, lower those expectations now. What you'll find instead are venues that treat customers as inconveniences, hygiene as optional, and logic as a foreign concept. Let's begin with shopping centers, or rather, what should be shopping centers but resemble post-apocalyptic loading docks. Cabot Circus is the crown jewel of dysfunction. Delivery bays choked with pallets, scaffolding, and random vehicles, because why make commerce easy? The toilets? Imagine walking into a cattle shed, but with less dignity. Hand dryers that smell like bacterial warfare, sinks broken, the air thick with the scent of neglect. And if you're in a wheelchair? Good luck, better detour to Swindon, where they apparently remember disabled people exist. Then there are the spas, where relaxation goes to die. Pure spa beauty is less oasis of calm and more masterclass in chaos. Bookings vanish into thin air. Therapists call in sick last minute, or more accurately, the staff simply forget they exist. Emails go unanswered. Refunds? A mythical concept. One woman waited 3 months for a response, only to be ghosted. If you enjoy paying for services you'll never receive, this is your paradise. Now Caribbean restaurants, where the vibes are bad and the food is worse. Caribbean Croft serves plantains so unripe it could double as a weapon. Portions shrink while prices inflate. Pound $3.50 for a spoonful of rice is not a typo. And if you dare complain, the chef will lecture you on food waste while laughing from the kitchen. One family drove 95 miles for an anniversary meal, only to be turned away at the door despite empty tables. The cruelty is the point. Nightlife? Oh, Lakota is a special kind of nightmare. Overcrowded, overpriced, and overseen by security with the charm of a bulldog chewing wasps. Want to use the bathroom? Pray the toilet attendant doesn't take a personal dislike to you. Some have reported being screamed at, threatened, even denied entry for the crime of needing to pee. Lost property. They'll toss it after 3 weeks if they bother responding at all. And good luck if you bought a ticket online, you might show up to find it's invalid. But hey, they'll happily charge you extra at the door. Craving pizza. GIGIs will test your patience. Wait an hour for a pie that tastes like sugar and regret. The hygiene? Dubious. The staff? More interested in their phones than your food. It's not Italian. It's not American. It's Bristol style, which apparently means expensive and confusing. And finally, cocktail bars, where the drinks taste like lemon juice and regret. The cocktail club charges £15 just to step inside, only to serve you something that resembles dish soap with ice. The bouncers? Capricious gods who decide your fate on a whim. Too brown? Too sober? Wrong shoes. Enjoy being turned away while they wave in everyone else. Summary for travelers: if you must venture near the University of Bristol, bring patience, low expectations, and maybe a packed lunch. The businesses here operate on a different plane of logic, one where customer service is a myth, hygiene is optional, and fairness is a punchline. Or, better yet, go literally anywhere else.
Oh my goodness, I was looking into crimes near University of Bristol, and I'm so shocked, It's like tourists come to visit and they just get taken advantage of. It's so unfair. So I found out that some brick and mortar stores near University of Bristol, they're super sketchy, They'll sell you counterfeit goods like fake designer bags or watches, and they'll act like they're real, but they're not. It's so sad. I'm like, how can people do this to innocent tourists? They're just trying to have a good time, I predict that the tourists who got scammed, they probably felt so embarrassed and angry, They're like, how could I be so stupid? But it's not their fault, it's the scammers' fault, They're just preying on people's trust. And what probably happened to the scammers is they just got away with it, They made some quick cash and then they disappeared, leaving the tourists with fake goods and a bad experience. And oh my goodness, another thing I found out is that some stores near University of Bristol, they'll overcharge tourists for basic things, They'll be like, oh, you want a souvenir? That'll be $50, and the tourists are like, okay, I'll take it. But it's not worth that much, it's so unfair. I'm like, how can people do this to others? Don't they have a conscience, It's so wrong, and I predict that the tourists who got overcharged, they probably felt so ripped off, They're like, I could have bought the same thing online for half the price. But it's too late, they've already been scammed. And what probably happened to the scammers is, they just got away with it again, They made some quick cash and then they kept on scamming. It's so sad.